Hey folks, Jason MX Fever, welcome back. Today we're going to get back into our how-to videos. We're over at Rao Power Sports this morning here in Hemlock, Michigan. We're going to be working on a 1986 Honda Fourtrax 250. This machine was actually owned by an older gentleman, and he contacted Greg at Rao Power Sports, thought he might be interested in it. Greg went over, went and checked it out, and brought it back to the shop here. The thing has sat for more than 15 years. So we're gonna be doing a couple how-to videos on this one. The brakes, front brakes are completely corroded and a mess. It didn't work at all. Carburetor looked like a science project went on inside it. So just give you a quick look at the machine here. We've got it tore apart to figure out what we needed to, and then ordered the parts, and then we'll be doing how-to videos on how to fix her up. But here's the bike. You can see the front brakes are shot. The funness in the master cylinder. So we'll get some good how-to videos out of that, but today we're going to start on the carburetor. The carburetor, I normally just clean them, put them back together, run it, but this one was so bad I ended up getting a rebuild kit for it. So we'll start with the carb rebuild, and I'll explain the circuits in the carburetor, what they do and what I'm looking for. All right, here we have the carburetor off our 250 TRX. I've already disassembled it here to see what all we needed, so just go through real quick and explain what the parts are. Like we've said in the other videos about carb rebuilding, there's 3 circuits to the carburetor. You'll have your main, your idle, and this one has a choke or enricher circuit that has a jet in it. So what we've got going here, this is the inlet for the enricher circuit. You can follow it around, and it comes over here to the enricher plunger, which allows it to draw fuel up through here. Actually, it's plugged off with this little rubber guy right here, so it's forced to draw it through this jet. I don't know why they did that. This is the little jet for it. You don't see this very often, but anyways, so the air bleeds for the idle and main jet actually come through the slide, top of the slide here. The main is way down in that little hole. I doubt you'll be able to see it. But the idle circuit, let's see. Yeah. So you can follow it. So this is the fuel mixture screw. Since it's on the engine inlet side, it's a fuel mixture. If it was on this side, on the intake side, or I'm sorry, the airbox side, it would be a air mixture. So you can see the little tiny hole right here. Oops. Little tiny hole right there. That's where the idle mixture screw goes, and you can follow it back to where it comes down the tube here where the idle jet is. Sorry, that's not the right one. It's this one here, and then follow it up. You can see that that's the air bleed. And the main circuit, you can follow it up this side, and it comes out that little one right there. So those are the circuits of the carb. You can tell by the fuel bowl that this thing has had fuel in it for a long time, and turned into, like I said, a science experiment. That idle jet is so plugged up, I don't know that we'd ever get it cleaned out. So we ordered a kit, got it online somewhere. I don't even remember if it was eBay, Amazon, whatever, but it's just a rebuild kit, and let's get ready to put it in. The camera was off. I took brake cleaning, cleaned this out real well. Blowing, brake cleaning each one of the passages and making sure it's coming out in the correct place to make sure that all the passages are clear. So now we'll start putting her back together. The rebuild kit came with a new mixture screw. I assembled it with the spring and a little washer and a new O-ring. So go ahead and put that in right there. Now this, I was kind of surprised. Normally the factory settings for this are 1.5 turns out from bottomed. This one was actually 2 1/4. So it's bottomed right now. I'm just gonna back it out to where the setting was and see how it runs. If I need to tweak it a little bit, it's not that big a deal. So 1/2, 1.5, 2. Nope, I messed that up. Bottomed half. 1, 1.5, 2, 2 1/4. So we'll leave that right there. It did not come with a new emulsion tube, so I cleaned the old one up. I'll put this back in. It also came with a new needle, which I didn't see the need to change, so I left that alone. We'll put the new main jet in. And we'll go with the new idle jet. Just to double check, I want to make sure that I can see through it. Sure can. I'll throw that in. Tighten that up. Came with a new enricher circuit jet. That's what could be tricky to get in here. I think I had too much Monster this morning. I'm shaky. There we go. Like I said earlier, this had a plug in it, so it forced. I really don't know why the plug's here. I don't know why they just didn't cap that off with one of these little BBs like they use on the others, like one of these. But we'll put the rubber plug back in there. And it came with a new float needle. If you compare it to the old, there's a significant difference here. I'll put the new float needle in. And then the pivot pin. And the kit also came with new O-rings, which I was glad to see, because especially the one on the bowl was in bad shape. I don't think that it would reseal. Put cap back in. This is the one that had the little chaining clip. Pause for a second and get a Phillips screwdriver. Okay, now in the bowl itself, there's this plastic piece that goes over the main jet. I honestly don't know the purpose of this, but I know that they don't run worth a crap without it. Okay, now we'll replace the bowl gasket here. I need to spray that out a little more. Yeah, this thing's nasty. Okay, get all the crud out of there, and I'll put the new gasket in. And this one actually fits pretty good. Some of them don't fit right. And what a trick you can do to hold them in place is just take a little dab of grease and slide it in the slot before you put the gasket in, and it'll hold it in place. So we'll put the bowl back on, and we'll have a rebuilt carb. Before going and putting the carb back on the machine, this is the breather and vent system that was on the machine when I took the carb off. You can see the lines are split from age and deterioration. So we're just going to rebuild this with some new hose, clean it up a little bit. Should be good as new. There, now we got our carb all fixed up. It's rebuilt, new jets, new float. Fixed our breather hoses that were cracked. A couple of them I didn't replace because they're actually larger than the line that I've got. And the hose looked okay, so I'll just put them back on. So we'll get ready to throw this back on the machine and see how she runs.